What situation or goal brought you to work with Alba?
I was inside a large utility in the Midwest, and the utility industry is going under a transformation, and it needed innovation. And so I was championed with building an innovation practice inside a 100-plus-year-old utility in the Midwest. And that is quite an undertaking. And I realized, and the leadership also realized, that what we needed, we didn't have. And what I needed as a leader, I didn't have. And so it was the connection with Alba to kind of bridge the gap to say, we need to grow a different type of leader than we've had in the past. And Alba was the perfect marriage to help me transform and build the innovation practice inside that utility that went on to be very successful. So that's what really connected me with Alba, because she has a unique balance of skills. So she has the experience of being an executive. She has the experience of being in multiple industries, and she has the training and a sense of caring to make sure that while you're getting what you need from a tactical perspective, but you're also growing and expanding your leadership skills. So she is really attuned to making sure that you are getting, she doesn't have a playbook that she just pulls out and runs with everyone. It's really tuned to the individual and tuned to the situations that they are going through. And while I've had Alba for years now in terms of as an executive coach. And as I've gone through multiple transitions, talking about the innovation, talking about taking on operational technology, my transition into vice presidency, she pulls on a variety of toolkits and experiences. But through it all, there's a thread of caring about you and where you are and making sure that you're getting what you need. So she has that unique set of skills that really brings what it is you need in order to be successful.
What were the results of your coaching with Alba?
Whether it's direct support for me as a coach, whether it's helping with the team, she'll come in and do team coaching as well, which I've leveraged a couple of times, and that's been fantastic. But I will say, I'll give a couple specific examples where Alba has really made a difference for me, and that she was willing to call me out and making sure that I was upholding to the bar that I set for myself. One of those examples is fairly recently, where I was articulating that I was good with the current political situation. While it didn't unfold the way I would have wanted it to, I had gotten to a good place of acceptance about it. And I had been carrying on from that place of acceptance. And so she asked me, "How's your team? Is your team in the same place as you?" And it brought me up short. And she said, "You are in a place of privilege where you can have that acceptance. Is all your team in that same spot?" And I was like, "No, they're not." And so she's like, "We need to make sure that you're caring for them because you're in a place of privilege and you have some great acceptance. So how can you extend that to them?" And it was really a good check for me to make sure that the thing that I value, which is having an engaged team, I was able to continue. And so that check really was really helpful. The second thing that she did for me from a check in perspective was part of our team coaching. She brought in one of her colleagues to help us facilitate that team coaching. And what was fantastic about it is she noticed that while I absolutely value diversity, equity, and inclusion 100%, whenever I'd ask a question, I would go to the males in the team first. And I was completely unaware that I was doing that. And she called it out. And it brought me up short again because that's not the leader that I want to be. And so she was really instrumental in pointing out the blind spots that I have, to ensure again that I show up the way that I intend to.
What would you tell someone who is considering working with Alba?
Absolutely, 100% do it. And here's why I would tell them that. She will make you the version of you that you believe you are. Because often as you are ascending, it requires it requires an ego. It requires not necessarily arrogance, but confidence that you are who you believe to be. Um, and what she'll be able to do is take all of that in and make sure that you're living up to that. And so if you value success, if you value honoring who you believe you are, putting your best forward as often as you can, while remaining authentic as you go through it, Alba's your person. Uh, she has a unique blend of caring, intellect, and experience that ties all of that together in a way that isn't overbearing, and in a way that allows you to grow, not necessarily at the pace you're comfortable with, but at a pace where you can handle. She will push you. She will absolutely push you. She is one of a kind. I've had many executive coaches, um, and they're all great in their specific value that they can bring to the table. Um, and I've learned from all of them. But if I had to distill who has been the most valuable to me on my journey, it's Alba. Because as the intersectionality that she has experienced isn't something you often get in a coach. As a woman of color, as a someone who's had really hard jobs and has come through the other side, as a person who's gone through training, the funnel of people who have had those experiences gets smaller and smaller. And when you take someone who's had those experiences and turn them into a coach, you get someone who's singular. And that's Alba. And that's what makes her so great.